Today's video is, my cat is using the litter box. This is a perfect moment to go with the flow of the universe and not force what I want. So today's video is about forcing the outcome, and honestly I'm really struggling to make eye contact with the camera right now during this video because this message is probably mostly for me more so than my viewers. But whoever's watching this, I truly hope that this message will give you insight into your present situation. My cat is really making me go with the flow. Okay, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I never know what side the little button's on. Give me grace. Leave a like on this video if you like what you're hearing, and leave a comment. What did you learn? What stood out to you? Does this message resonate with you? I would love to hear it. Honestly, our main objective while here in this earthly plane is to really just go with the flow. And when I say go with the flow, that's really about doing what makes you happy, and also recognizing that we don't actually have control. We can control the outcome to a certain extent, as in we're able to manifest a desired outcome that we want, but we actually have no control with how we get to that outcome that we are trying to manifest, or that we are currently manifesting. Now, the problem that has been blocking me from my manifestations, and I assume if you're watching this video, this is something that might resonate with you as well, is really that I am trying to force the how of how everything plays out. Okay, so let me give a couple specific examples. I mean, one, I wanted coffee this morning and I was really specific about it. I was like, I want coffee. I don't want to get out of my car. I want to drive through, yada, yada, yada. So I went to the first coffee place. There was a drive-through, but the drive-through was like all the way around the block. And I was really in a time crunch because I had an appointment at 10:30. So I was like, this isn't gonna work. So then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to this one coffee shop that I know, I'm pretty sure it's on the way. So I look it up and it's not the coffee shop that I remembered in my brain. So I was like, no, that coffee shop will not work for me. That's not the one that I had planned. So then I was like, I'm pretty sure this coffee shop is close to Michael's. So I'm just gonna look up where Michael's is, and then I'm gonna go to Michael's. And so I went to Michael's, and guess what? The coffee shop wasn't there. In fact, there was actually no coffee shop where Michael's was. I just drove all those extra minutes because I was trying to force the situation. So then I finally just like chilled. I pulled over. I really just like took a deep breath, and I recognized like I probably don't actually need to do this right now. I should probably just go on about my day and do what I originally intended and set out doing when I left the house this morning. And you know what's wild is that I ended up going to a place to get coffee that didn't have a drive-through, and I had to get out of my car and I had to wait longer, and I wasn't late to whatever I had planned. But in reality, if I had just gone to the first place that I manifested, which was a coffee spot that had a drive-through, and waited in that line, I probably would have actually saved myself a whole lot of time, and then I probably would have avoided all of the inconveniences that kind of stacked up later throughout the day. Let me give another example. So another thing I'm doing is I'm trying to manifest a certain amount of money, and I keep having a whole bunch of doors close on some of my current money situations. This is because when it comes to the flow of the energy that I'm putting into this world, I've really been blocking the flow and not going with the flow, because when it comes to the money that I'm making, I am kind of capped at a certain amount because I have been trying so hard to control how this money comes to me that I have been getting in the way of whatever the universe and my spirit guides are trying to lay out for me. And I'm not going with the flow. I'm really trying to say, oh, I'm gonna make this amount of money tutoring. Oh, I'm gonna make this amount of money each day with my coaching clients. Oh, I'm going to make this amount of money. And this is just not working, and I'm not keeping my energy at the vibration that matches the manifestations that I'm trying to bring to me. Quick editing note: by being specific about how I want it to come to me, I am closed off and blocking the unexpected ways my manifestations are coming to me. And so this, of course, this spiritual journey is a learning process. And the thing is, like, we might figure it out at one period, and then like literally a month later, all of the manifestations that we were doing and all the progress we were doing just gets halted because we forgot how much we had progressed, and we had forgotten the tricks and the tools that got us those manifestations in the first place. This video is really about how to get out of your own way, because this process, this practice, this experiment in life is really about trying things out and seeing what works for you, and then remembering to use the things that actually work. Because it is so easy to get caught up in the stuff that doesn't work, and to get caught up in the stuff that makes us stressed and anxious and weighs us down, when in reality, if we just remembered to go back to the tools and tricks and all that stuff that brought us our manifestations in the first place, things would stay in that flow. So honestly, it's really about getting yourself back in the creative flow that you have, that feminine flow that you have within this universe, and letting go of all of that control that you are trying to have on the outcome. You just have to let go of the control. I think it's so conditioned in us because we live in this patriarchal, masculine society, and we're taught that we just have to go, grab, get what's yours. And if you're not making actions every day, then you're messed up. Well, in reality, the actions that you're supposed to be making are supposed to be in that feminine flow, not a forced action that you are trying to create a desired outcome with. You need to be in that flow and recognizing that when you're in the flow, then you are getting out of the way and surrendering to what is really meant for you. How do you solve this situation? Well, like I said, it's really about remembering. So one, you have to just stop asking for it. You need to just declare that it is already yours. That's the first thing. When you're asking for it, you're really in that state of seeking. You're really in that place where you're like, please give it to me. Why don't I have it already? What did I do? And that's just bad energy. That's low vibes. And so what you really want to be doing is you want to just state that it's already yours and let yourself believe that it's already yours, even if the present now moment is not already yours. Because the sooner that you could get your energy in that higher place that's in alignment with what you want to be yours, then the sooner it comes to you. Say it's yours. Declare that it's yours. Stop asking, because when you're asking, that's giving mega beggar vibes, and that's just not cute. That's not here for us. That's not it. That's not what we want to be doing. That's not the energy that we want to be putting into this world, because then that's what becomes our reality. We're literally like begging that we get what we want, when actually we should just know that it's already ours, and we just need to put ourselves in the timeline and in the dimension where it is. 2, you said that it's yours. Now what? Now you need to get in touch with your intuition and listen to the signs. But before you can do that, you have to make sure that you remember to be in that place in the first place. So what do? You do the affirmations, you do the manifestation journaling, you listen to high vibration music, whatever that stuff is that keeps your energy right, make sure you do it. But another trick, you want to remember it, so make sure it's accessible. I put a manifestation journal next to my bed. It's the first thing I do when I wake up now. I literally read through the things that I have written recently, add new things that come to mind. I speak the ones that I truly believe belong to me, and I say them out loud into the universe. I'm writing them, I'm saying them, etc. But it's right next to my bed. That's the key part. So when I wake up, I don't look at my phone. I look at the notebook that's next to my bed, and I do that. Getting the vibe right, straight off the day. Now you go through the day, you need a couple of other reminders around the house. I keep a vision board, like literally right in front of my workspace, so that I can look at my manifestations every single time I get to work. So I remember, what am I doing all of this for? Why am I doing all this creative work for? What outcome do I know is mine in the future? So again, you're putting these reminders in your face. I know some people who take an expo marker and they write their affirmations on their mirror, so that when they're in the mirror in the bathroom every single morning, they're reading those affirmations every single day, so they don't lose sight of it. You need to find what works for you. What reminds you to keep getting back in that high vibrational state is what works for you, but it has to remind you to get back in that vibration that matches what you desire to receive. If you don't have those reminders throughout your life, it's really easy to get lost in the old way of being, the way of fear, the way of masculine forcing and pushing and trying to control, when in reality, you just want to be in the flow of the energy and to feel what's right for you at the present moment. Another thing you can do to get back into your intuition is you need to get out of the mind into the body. So doing yoga, doing meditation, that's something that allows you to become aware of your mind and become conscious of the patterns that exist in your mind. That's just a lot of chatter, and it's a lot of distractions. And you're not really meant to pay a lot of attention to the distractions. You're meant to be in creative flow. So when you're having a lot of chatter and a lot of distractions, it's important to pay attention to them so that you can address it. A lot of that are limiting beliefs and limiting mindsets that are distracting you and keeping you away from what's actually meant for you and from what actually brings you joy. So instead of waking up, doing your morning routine, going with the flow for the day, following the messages from your spirit guides, if you're waking up and you're trying to just force the outcome and you're trying to be like, oh, if I do this, this will happen, then you've already gotten yourself out of flow. And then you start listening to your mind, and your mind starts coming at you being like, you need to do this. You haven't worked hard enough. You haven't been productive. Blah, blah, whatever the limiting mindset is for you at the present moment, it's important to pay attention to that. When you pay attention to that, then you can address it and let it go. Let it go. I like to send it into the earth. I like yoga really lets you send it into the earth. You have your hands and your feet on the ground, so you can let those mindsets leave your brain, leave your body, because those are the things that are really holding you back. You can also journal these mindsets, write them down, cross them out, do whatever it takes that will let you let those go. Then you stay aligned with your intuition. One of the things I do, of course, is I do a tarot reading. The tarot reading every single month and every single quarter of the year, like on the equinoxes and the solstice. Regardless, I specifically ask my tarot deck for signposts. What does that mean? I draw a card and I say, what are my signposts for this cycle? And that gives me clues to know what paths to follow. For the last signpost card I pulled for myself, one of the main symbology on that card was the number 2. So now I know that the number 2s are telling me which direction to go to. Like when I was moving into this place, the numbers on my street address, when you add them together, the numerology of them is literally the master number 22. When I was going for a walk in the neighborhood before I signed the lease, just to see if it felt right, just to put myself in the energy, I looked down on the ground and there was a 22 spray painted on the ground by a construction worker. Then right in front of the door of the building, bus route 222. And then I go back to the place I'm staying, and the license plate in front of that place, when I'm asking myself, should I rent that apartment? The license plate of the car that parked in front of the place that I was staying had a 222 on it. So again, that was a signpost that I knew I could follow through. And the other last thing that I really want to talk about when it comes to creative flow is recognizing that when you're truly in flow, you are doing it for pure reasons. You have pure intentions for why you are choosing to create what you're creating. You're choosing to create something because you want to express yourself. You're choosing to create something because you want to help other people. You're choosing to create something because it makes you feel good and because you enjoy doing it, which is such a different vibration. Just think about that. That's such a different vibration than choosing to create something so that you can get money, or choosing to create something so that people will perceive you a certain way, or choosing to do something because you think a certain outcome is going to come to you and you think that you can force that outcome to happen in your life. So being in that flow is a different space than being in that force mindset. And that difference is really about doing something out of love versus doing something out of fear. This is something that I keep coming back to because it's so real. And especially because like our abundance is from the heart center. And so it's really love based. And if we're trying to get abundance out of any direction or any source or any intention that's not love based, and I'm talking about unconditional love for you and unconditional love for everybody, if that's not the intention behind what you're doing, then that's a sign that you aren't in flow anymore. And that's a sign that you're trying to force or create an outcome. And really, most of the time, the how behind how things are manifested to you or how things materialize in front of you is completely out of what you thought would happen. There are some of us who do, like, we actually do know the specifics, but for the most part, if you do know the specifics, it's not something you are in control of, and you have to surrender and let it come. Believe, have faith that it will come to you. Okay, so that's just my 2 cents. I felt like that was really worth sharing with all of you. So again, thank you so much for watching my video. I felt like that was something that I really needed to share, not just to remind myself. This is serving as a reminder for me. So when I'm saying this and when I edit this video, it's a reminder for me that I'm intentionally planting for later, but also because I know whoever is watching this video, this is a message that resonates with you and it relates to whatever your current situation is. So I am sending you lots of love. I'm sending you lots of light. I know that these manifestations that you want are yours already. If they aren't, then they're coming, and it's time to trust it, and it's time to get your energy aligned with that. Do the tool that gets you on that high vibration right after this video is over. Sending you lots of love. See you next video.